There's a bit of a colour scheme going on this month. Hello everyone, my name's Katrina and today I'm going to be sharing with you my to be read pile for the month of May. I do have a fairly ambitious TBR pile for May, especially since we're already a week in, but I am planning on participating in a readathon, which is why there are so many books I have here. I don't expect to read all of the books I have on my TBR pile for the readathon, but I've just kind of given myself some options. Why don't I begin with the books I'm hoping to read during this readathon, which is the Buzzword Readathon. This is a week-long readathon running from the 7th until the 13th of May. It is hosted by Books and Lala and Dylan the Reader 5, and the main idea for this readathon is that you read books all including a particular buzzword. It is a recurring readathon and each round there will be a different buzzword. For this one it is girl, so any book that includes girl in the title, even if it's part of a larger word, or it can be girl, girls separately, etc. If it has girl at any point in the title, this also includes the word for girl in other languages as well, then you can read that book for the readathon. So I have quite a few books that have the word girl in the title that I've chosen as possible things that I might read during this readathon. The first of which is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is one I've been meaning to read for the longest time, and I really don't have an excuse here. This readathon is just begging me to read this book, so I'm gonna read it. The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valenti. This one is a shorter read as well, which is going to be perfect for a readathon, and I've heard some really great things about this book. I don't know why I haven't picked it up before now, to be quite honest, so I thought this was a good push to get to this one as well. And my guess is that the story is going to be about a girl who circumnavigates a place called Fairyland in a ship of her own making. That's just a wild guess. I also recently picked up Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashadaust. The only thing I know about this story is that it is a reimagining of Snow White, and I've just been hearing some really great things about this book, so I decided to pick it up. I was with my friend and she's read it and she was telling me how great it is, so I just couldn't resist, and it also works great for the readathon, so bonus! When it is published in the next few days, I'm hoping to also pick up Undead Girl Gang, which is also the biannual Bibliothon book club pick for May through July. I think this one is kind of a murder mystery where the 3 victims are actually brought back to life. They have no recollection of being murdered or who their murderer was, but I think they get involved in the case of their own murders, which sounds so fascinating. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm ordering this one online because as far as I can tell, I haven't been able to find it like being available in Australian stores. Not 100% sure if it's being published in Australia, to be quite honest. So hopefully it gets to me in time. I also have a couple of options for books to listen to on audio during the week. The first one is Winter Girls, which I think deals with eating disorders, self-harm and mental health. And then The Girl with All the Gifts, which by the sounds of it is kind of like a zombie thriller, which will be an interesting one. Altogether that is 6 books for the Buzzword Readathon, but I do not expect to read all 6 books. These are just kind of my options. Moving on to the rest of my TBR pile for the month of May. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books which I hope to finish during this month. The first one is Terrier by Tamara, which is the first book in the Becca Cooper series. This is set in the same world as the Song of the Lioness Quartet, but set in the past, and we follow one of George Cooper's ancestors. I've read about 100 pages so far and I'm really loving it, but I think this is probably one that I'm going to savor throughout the month and read a little bit slowly. I'm also halfway through listening to the audiobook for Circe by Madeline Miller, which is a retelling of the Odyssey, but focusing on Circe, who is the first witch who appeared in Western literature. So it's completely her story from her perspective, and I'm really enjoying this so far. The narrator has such a soothing voice. Like, I could just listen to her talk about anything, and so that's making this listening experience absolutely incredible. I'm also really enjoying the story as well, so I'll be finishing this one very soon. It's gonna happen this month. I'm going to read 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I'm planning on buddy reading this with my friend Reg. Been working our way up to reading this one. We buddy read the whole Grisha trilogy together, and now it has come to 6 of Crows and I'm so excited. This is just one that I've seen everywhere. I've heard so many people rave about this book and this duology. I can't wait. Heist story? Yes, please. The last book that I will read during the month of May is the book club pick for the book club that I'm a co-host for called The Name of the Book, and that is Lifelike by J. Christoph. This one is publishing on the 9th of May in Australia, and we did know that it was going to be publishing later on in May, at least in the US, but we completely overlooked other things because we were so focused on getting like the book meet ready and stuff for our Australian book clubbers. We have since learned that this is not being released until July in the UK, and I think in some countries doesn't yet have a publication date, which is super unfortunate and we feel so terrible about that. But we are still going ahead with reading this one, so I'm really sorry if you're not able to pick up a copy of Lifelike to join in with us for the book club this month. I'm so sorry. You can of course always watch back on the live show at a later date once you have had the opportunity to read the book, and in future we will be more vigilant in ensuring it is more widely available. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the year and I'm so excited. It's almost here and we're doing it for the book club, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. The tagline for this one is Romeo and Juliet meets Mad Max meets X-Men with a little bit of Blade Runner cheering from the sidelines, which sounds incredible. Those were all of the books on my to be read pile for the month of May. Very ambitious, especially since there's another 3 that I don't actually have a physical copy of. I am really excited about all of the books that I do have on my TBR pile though, so I think I've got a good month of reading ahead of me. I would love to hear which books you're most excited about reading this month in the comment section below. Let's go chat there. But that's all that I have for this video. I will see you very soon in a new video, but until then, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!